This is it's an emergency bonus episode. Something crazy happened. So
I'm on the edge of my seat. I don't know what to say.
This is Paul the News. It's Fit to Clint, and it's
Okay.
Unusually it's a Clint edition. Normally it's an all Paul.
Mm-hmm. It's
Paul
been
for the wall.
a lot of all Paul.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
I don't know what this is. I don't know.
You have no idea what this is.
No, I don't.
I've forbidden Ian from accessing the shared Pod Casty For Me at gmail.com. Hopefully he hasn't looked at the Twitter either.
Nope.
Okay, so I wake up on Thursday to a text from my friend Hector, who I haven't heard from in like 6 months.
Okay.
Because I owed him a text and I was being a
Gotcha.
shit about it. But
Don't have to explain this situation to me, pal.
Hector sent me a text. Beautiful Hector sent me a beautiful text. So, a bit of background. So, Clint and Maggie Eastwood, they buy a house in Sherman Oaks in the 60s when they are still married. I don't know if it's their first house in LA, but I think it's their first, he's in Hollywood.
He's got that money.
In LA.
There's a cursed home, as we know. There's
a Life magazine spread or something with pictures of them at the house.
Walter Mitty does the big one.
Then at some point, Clint gives it to Fritz Maines. You remember Fritz Maines?
Of course.
His producing partner, his
R.I.P.
Marine buddy, his Army buddy turned... I don't know if they were Army buddies, actually. His producing partner, yeah. Fritz dies in 2011. Fritz Maines' widow, Audie Maines, dies a few months ago.
Okay, sorry to hear that.
Thursday morning, I get a text from Hector. There's an estate sale. Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yesterday, I'm in the house. I'm in a Clint house. I'm in a Clint house. I have some photos for you here.
What an incredible amount of restraint you've demonstrated.
I was at work on Thursday, worried. I can't handle myself.
What if I fall asleep for too long? What do I wake up and it's Saturday? Yeah,
exactly. So on Friday, we go to the house, and wouldn't you know it, I walk in, the garage is open. First thing that greets me, a very familiar face. We got a print of Clint with Manus. Now this isn't some kind of a shadow box.
We sure do.
Of photographs, and we're already seeing some scary numbers. This is $400 for these photos.
Ooh, 400.
But
we're
it's
looking
okay.
at 400
it's
big
okay.
ones for that. I mean, it's a gorgeous photo. And here's what we did. You took a photo of the photo. And that was free.
We also have, this is not signed, but there was a copy of the Schickel biography inside the house.
Of course.
So here's some photos of me in the house. Let's see. This is me by the pool. It's a lovely house up there in the Beverly Glen part of Sherman Oaks.
Wow. What did you feel when you were out there? Did you feel you understood the man at all?
Just pure energy. Pure energy.
Yeah. Yep.
I told our friend Carly from Hit Factory about this, and she said that she began to cry. So, and I thanked her for
Carly, we
feeling
love you.
On my behalf.
I understand this. I had a great upwelling in my heart.
Yeah.
Truly, not saying this for...
Thank you.
I don't care what any of you think, so I wouldn't say this for you.
Here I am in the Mains's kitchen looking at their cups and plates.
Ooh.
Now,
okay.
Well, let's talk about the Clint of it all before we get to estate sale thoughts. Because, okay, so here's where maybe I could have reached out to you and asked you if you and your brothers could put together $2,200, because they had the fucking Firefox machine. They had the Firefox machine, the Atari Firefox arcade cabinet.
This is very cute. This is having your buddy's 1980 arcade cabinet,
I don't know
I guess.
So I don't know how much they lived there. I don't know how much they left certain of the Clint memorabilia in certain rooms.
Sure. Well, then still he hung on to it. That's even nice.
So
That's
then
cool.
I make my way up to the gym, which is in a separate, like a sort of an outbuilding up some stairs, like maybe above a storage room or something.
Oh, wow.
Now, I walk into the gym There's so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
you're feeling a tightrope style tension with somebody else in the gym that you're locking eyes, working out together.
You mean Tightrope, the film that I have on a sealed Betamax tape, an unopened Betamax copy of Tightrope in my hands?
Would Fritz Maines have held on to this?
He had all of these. Now, of course, there was plenty of promotional apparel listed on the estate sale website. And
well, before we move on too fast, is it complimentary? Can I say that you're a bit of a Betamax player yourself?
All right. I mean, because I got in early on. I got in early on the HBO Discovery streaming service. I got to look for bugs.
Yes, that's what
and I found one. Friggin' Bunny. Friggin' Bunny's name.
That's true. That's one of the main bugs.
What was I talking about? So I go in there and we asked the lady. So on the estate sale website, they have like, I mean, I was hoping to get you a fucking like velour city heat jacket or whatever they had.
Sure, that's so nice of you.
The woman said that all of that stuff went within the first 5 customers, which honestly was a relief. Wow. To know that, like, basically by the time I heard about this, that stuff was gone. Yeah. Like, it wasn't. Yep. That's not because I made a mistake. Yeah.
Nope.
But I go up to the gym, and the gym is a treasure trove. I'll send you the listing so that you can look at all the photos after this. Please. But first of all, and it makes sense because they didn't have like phone or whatever. But they do just have a lot of like posters of anatomy and like how to work out, which makes a ton of sense.
That's true.
But then there's also like this poster next to the poster of like the trapezius or whatever. They have the Clint Cinematheque Francaise
I mean, it's cool as hell.
Retro.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And then
poster here.
Also this thing that was it's a handwritten sign, and it's unclear who hand wrote this. It says no pain, no gain, no caca. And this is a piece of construction paper with like marker on it, but it is priced at $80 because maybe Clint wrote it.
Yeah.
But also it's not like it has a certificate of authenticity.
Of eccentricity. Yeah. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the poster means.
No pain, no gain, no caca. I think it just means like no bullshit. Probably just some joke that they made. There were a bunch of these production signs on the wall, including one for Tightrope here and Honky Tonk Man. They had these for like all of the movies that Fritz worked on, except that I think the ones that were still remaining were remaining because they were staple gunned to the wall. And I was like, okay, there's no one in here with me. How am I supposed to get this off? Like, I'll break it.
Sure, yeah. I gotta be honest, this is kind of what I dream. This was my dream Hog's Breath in.
Yes.
This is incredible.
It's incredible.
This is all the stuff.
This you can't really see it. This is a production sign for The Killing Ground, which has then been crossed out with a Sharpie, and they wrote Sudden Impact above it. Because that was the working title.
But also very funny to have that in your house, this like self-edited thing.
Sexy anatomy chart lady.
Whoa.
One of my favorite things in here is above the sexy anatomy chart lady, they had a sign, a bumper sticker. Go ahead and read that for me.
Okay, this says I heart jacking. It says I heart jacking.
It does. It says I heart jacking.
I guess it's probably jacking muscles.
I was gonna guess that too, but then they thought it was funny in both senses. They had these, and I think this was probably belonged to the Mainses. They had these enormous, like one of a kind redwood chairs with these big furry cushions all over them.
This is straight out of, for our listeners who have been with us since the beginning, the Play Misty For Me furniture that we like delighted in.
The king of Big Sur sits in this.
Yeah, yep.
In the kitchen, they also... So, let me show you what I got, and then we'll talk about estate sales generally. Okay, so first of all, so I think I spent exactly the right amount of money at this place, which is to say...
Every cent we've ever made on Patreon.
No.
Okay.
$110.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
More than we've ever... Just kidding. Yeah. That's not...
Close. Okay, so, first of all, my lovely podcast girlfriend, because this is a house that belonged to some old people, there were a lot of figurines. And she wanted to get a little bird figurine. So we've got it almost looks taxidermied, but it is, I believe, wood.
I thought it was.
That's been painted. It's a beautiful little
what is that, a
finch or a sparrow or something.
Finch. Yeah, that looks like a finch. I think you're right. Lovely, really lovely.
Filthy, horrible to touch. Okay, and then
imagine it hasn't been cleaned ever.
I thought about they had just the sleeve to the vinyl release of Clint Eastwood Sings the Cowboy Hits or whatever but it didn't have the record in it, and I was gonna mount it anyway, but I didn't want to pay record price for just the sleeve, so I did get a sealed Honky Tonk Man soundtrack on vinyl. Sealed. This is in the plastic.
A lot of sealed stuff there. Yeah, gorgeous.
And then getting into sort of estate sale territory. I bought Fritz Mainz's DGA card from 1993 for Jeremy Allison.
Whoa, that's so cool.
Considered buying his NRA card, but then I decided I didn't want that in my house.
Sure.
They had a bunch of his like Marine stuff. Like you could have bought like his medals or whatever. And like pictures of him with his like Marine
Luger
buddies.
He took off of somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Luger. I bought so then in the gym I pulled off of a piece of exercise equipment that was like up high. I think that's why nobody got to it. This every which way but loose hat. But it is
oh my god.
It is shedding a very strange powder.
It doesn't matter. Did it come in the bag or you?
No, I put it in a bag.
All right.
And then I'm
not aware of a lot of hat powders, but
I thought about how weird it is that like that hat powder is now mixed in my vacuum with like my skin flakes and my cat's
all the particles
dander.
Are together. Yeah. And I mean, it's a leveler. This is that little bit of Hamlet where he talks about whatever Caesar's ashes being in like a keg.
Yeah.
Cork or something. I don't
remember that part, but yeah, it's exactly like that.
Okay. Might not be real.
And then so parasocially, but also so they had a lot of, they didn't have children, which is why there was this estate sale. They had a lot of framed photos of their cats.
Oh,
and
wow.
I related to this immediately, as did Amanda.
Course, yeah.
And there were piles of just like unframed photographs as well that were for sale. And so we got a few photos of their cats. And when we were checking out the lady at because it was run by like Diamond Estate Sales or whatever, she said when we were going through the house, I couldn't bear to throw those out. And so I thought, oh yeah, there is a human being involved here. There's some, and so I'm glad that we got these. It's actually not too parasocial, but like we have these are just like
I got it. These are just
photos
like
of
honest
cats.
Family album shots. Yeah, they're not artistic in any. Well, they're artistic in a sort of
found
high art,
right?
Exactly. But not. I mean, they're just pictures of a cat like from far away, kind of out of focus.
And then there's one of a cat that's been tucked in to the sheets.
Yeah,
which
that's correct.
We would all take a picture of that, except that presumably they did it with like a disposable camera, so you don't know if it's going to come out good. Okay, continuing on the parasocial tip, there were a bunch of photo slides in baggies and things. Go ahead.
Before we get to those, can I reflect that I think you did a wonderful job? Because I don't know that it's parasocial in the sense that you are manufacturing a closeness to somebody who has no existence, no awareness of your existence. Okay. This is rather you rescuing a little piece of their life that would otherwise be lost. And you're an archivist because you're somebody who appreciates what it means beyond it just being like a photograph of a cat.
I appreciate that. And also I thought, well, I have cats. I love my little cats.
Yeah,
and also one of the ways that I have connected to Clint Eastwood and one of the things that has come up on the show is that he is, of course, an allergic king. And what is he allergic to but cats?
Right.
And so, I think these objects also have their own inherent interest. If I'm not there to tell you what that picture of a cat is.
I was thinking that as well. That detracts from the fetishistic quality of it to me, is that they're just nice objects from a human's life.
And this is my first estate sale. So like, it's weird to see the pile of a deceased person's towels that are for sale.
Sure.
And they're
Yep.
like, they seem
Yeah.
to be in good condition. They've been like, this is just somebody, they put their arm into the linen closet and just pulled it all out.
Yep.
And like,
Yep.
also there's, so you had, you know, I think all of the LA movie freak folks,
sure.
we were
Yeah,
all
this-
averting our gaze from one another because it was...
But this is what I'm trying to distance you from. I don't think your
Thank you.
journey has this quality.
I appreciate that. I'm not going to put any of this up on eBay, for example. This is for my own
Right.
interest. And then,
Yep.
so there's those people. And then there's also the estate sale people who are there to get like knives and like a used
I was wondering that
refrigerator.
when you mentioned the towels, somebody who has no awareness of where this is or who these people are.
I overheard somebody saying, whose house was this? To the
Great.
organizer. Which, okay, so then parasocial, the next parasocial thing, there are these bags of photo slides, which I thought this will be interesting. And also it was like $3. So I
Okay.
opened one and I looked to see if I recognized anybody, and I did. And so here are, I've held them up to my light therapy lamp so you can see through them.
Great.
So I first open it and I see this picture of Fritz with Sandra Locke leaning on him.
Ooh.
And this is
yeah.
this at this point, I think when I looked at it with like enough light coming through it, I thought, oh, this is private. Like this is, and it's not like anything
Sure, this
untoward
is
is
some-
happening, but this is like
No.
they didn't
He's
know
now-
they were being
okay.
captured on film.
A photo of him sort of turning his head down towards her. He's stooping above her, and
She's
they
like
seem
relaxing.
Yeah.
This is Fritz in some Marines garb. I don't.
Oh, wow.
There were a lot of
He's
slides
looking
from.
gunny.
Yeah,
He's-
there were a lot
he's
of
looking
slides from
Heartbreak Ridge.
the set of Heartbreak Ridge. I don't know if this is
Yeah.
one. And then most of this bag turns out to be like there's like 9 or 10 slides of this sailboat. It's a picture of a
Now
sailboat.
this is good.
And then
That's great.
this last one. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe this is from the Palomino on the set of one of the Which Way
I
films.
think you're right. I think you're exactly
Pretty
right.
exciting.
It's a very recognizable corner. Yeah.
And also, this says this slide was like produced by Warner Brothers somehow, like their photo lab.
That is correct. It does say that. Yeah. I guess he probably got these things like made into slides for free, probably, huh?
Probably. And then, lastly, in the gym, and according to the website, this is a Clint Eastwood used 5-pound barbell dumbbell, 5-pound dumbbell.
Mamma mia.
Yeah,
That
this
is
is-
what I'm looking for. All right.
This is the stuff.
Yeah.
And I come downstairs holding this dumbbell, and these old people are looking at me like I'm a psychopath. Because,
Yeah.
like, I mean,
You could get one of those for
but also this was
$8, whatever.
It was not listed. Like, there's no
Okay.
price tag, so they gave it to me for
Yep.
$3.
Oh,
And also,
wow.
it's-
just a good dumbbell price.
It's iron, yeah. I mean, it still works, you
It's
know.
built to last.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a in competition with Eastern Bloc Soviet bodybuilders feel to it.
It does.
Sort of like we can, the
This is
space race for biceps.
this is before they put like the kind of weird rubber on them so they'd be comfortable.
Yeah, no. This doesn't have any of that.
No pain, no
stuff.
gain, no caca. That's what we're looking at here.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
This is incredible
crazy?
to me in the traditional sense of the word.
I was in
you cleaned up.
Clint's house. I was in a Clint house.
You were in a Clint
And
house,
also in
and
Fritz Mainz' house.
that's true. Also, just cool to have done. I think part of the reason that I also feel have a goosebumpsy feeling, besides the parasocial aspect that you've highlighted, is that because it's like, I mean, he was famous. He was incredibly famous at this point, but it's an era of Clint that is otherwise lost to the world.
Right. This
largely.
is
I mean,
like ends at. I mean,
exactly.
It ends at in like the mid 80s.
90 maybe.
Maybe 90.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So
Yeah.
I think there's something special about finding Clint before he became
Right.
the Clint who now exists in the world. This is Clint.
Clint before
4.6.
maybe before he had quite enough money to have all of this stuff hidden in like a vault, or Warner Brothers had given
Also-
him his own building on the lot to
Right.
house props or whatever.
And could probably ask them to print, totally unique posters for his own private use.
Right. It was hard. It was hard to walk by, it's truly like a 6 foot tall Pale Rider poster, but it's going for like $300. And I don't have $300 for a poster, really. I'm not.
That's okay. You don't have that type of poster money. I will also point out that for Clint is at quite a young age of 50 to 55 here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that also, he was putting up I Heart Jacking. Somebody was putting up I Heart Jacking.
Because they thought it was fun. They wanted it up every time they went in the gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Even if Clint didn't use that dumbbell, it's a handshake away from Clint.
Yep.
And I thought about how, honestly, as people who've traveled around, you and I have been we've occupied the same spaces as many very, very famous people.
Of course.
Obviously.
Yeah, you recorded from Musso and Frank's. That's...
I've been in the Sistine Chapel. You've been in the Sistine Chapel.
Same.
So has any queens and luminaries of
That's about as famous as it gets.
On our trip up north, we were on the steps of Coit Tower where we have photographic evidence of Clint being there. I was in the parking lot of Tehama before I got scared and turned around.
That's true. Yeah.
But now I've been in a private space that Clint Eastwood's been in.
Yeah.
And then
that's very different.
In the shower yesterday, I was trying to think about a house.
You don't have to share this part if you don't want to.
Yeah, I got into some Mike Mitchell territory. No.
Okay.
I was thinking about if, a house that's been occupied since let's say, by the same two households since the mid 60s, right? How many people, how many individuals do you think are in that house? Like 1,000?
Couple hundred. Yeah. They're popular people.
You have
they're
a few parties, but also and you have people come by to fix stuff, but you probably have similar, the same person is probably coming by to fix
a lot. Yeah.
especially back up then.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. So that was crazy.
I think to me, the takeaway is not that you touch the hem of his garment or whatever. The takeaway is that, much more interestingly, it's like if you went and you were just working in his workshop for a while,
right? Exactly.
You just did some of the same stuff he might have done. You thought about
he used to use this hammer,
right?
Clint Eastwood. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And there was a toilet that was broken, and I was like, "Who's going to use the toilet while you're here?" Too so then I'm thinking, has the toilet been broken for? Was this sign here for
pre-death
for Audrey Maines?
Yep. Right.
Interesting.
She probably knew already, but
yeah. If I were in a different position financially, I would have made an offer on the house immediately. It wasn't even for sale that I know of.
Think about reaching out to our friend Darren Allison just to see, does this move the needle for you?
I'm gonna reach out to Darren. I'm gonna tell him that I was in the space.
Yep.
And then, it does make you think, is a life just a big, big stack of cookbooks and
that's beautiful.
Baja Fresh cups. Did I
William Carlos Williams?
Did I show you the Baja Fresh cups?
You did not.
Okay, so I'm in the kitchen here. So here's a picture of me.
Yeah,
I'm holding the bird.
Yep.
They have this Baja Fresh,
2004 Bob. I don't know if the restaurant existed then, but
it did.
These are
it did, and it was already my sister's favorite. She likes pico de gallo. That's 50% water.
Time. Yep.
Yeah.
50% water that somehow was from the last batch of pico de gallo that was in there from before.
It's called the mother. Yeah. Anyway, so that's right. That's Paul the News. It's Fitz Clint, and one of these slides of sailboats got your name on it, buddy.
Wow, thank you so. It's a beautiful boat.
Yeah, it is.
What is it? It's got They Scared Sheila to Death. What's the name of that movie that we watched together once?
The Last of Sheila. You're thinking of combining The Last of Sheila and Let's Scare Jessica to Death.
I am doing that. Yeah, The Last of Sheila.
What have they done to Solange? who can
Yep.
kill a child. Don't
I don't
torture
even know
a
what that one is.
duckling. So a lot of these Italian guys, they were naming their stuff so crazy.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, my friend. You've done important work.
Wish you could have
and
been there, but also,
me too.
you know,
Wish
it's a
we could have held
quick
hands.
turnaround.
I do feel
yeah.
I'm getting a real boost off of just knowing my friend was there.
Amanda said we have to clean everything except the dumbbell.
Okay, that's fair.
Which
You must not
so
clean
yeah,
the dumbbell.
you can go ahead and touch the dumbbell next time you're here.
I do think you have to, if you want to prove that this is not nasty Hollywood guys, you have to use the dumbbell. You have to become very strong in your
I've already
biceps.
been using the dumbbell. I didn't need your
I mean, it's
permission
only
for
about
that.
5 pounds.
I should have gotten
the
two of
ceiling
them.
on this.
I mean, there were
Well,
two, but I just figured I'm going to get one. And then also, I figured if somebody else wants to get a 5-pound dumbbell, like I don't want to hog it.
That's nice. No.
All right, so that was our emergency bonus episode. Hope you enjoyed it and aren't mad at us.
No, what's to be mad about? I hope you felt that you too were there. We'll put up as many of the photos as Jake feels comfortable sharing because some
absolutely.
Punk.
Haven't used that one in a while. It's just nice to hear his voice. Anyway, we will see you on Friday. Bye.
Bye.